Hi friends, how are you? Welcome back to the Samsqueak Craftcast. I don't even know what the episode is today. 12-ish? I don't know. Guys, I am doing this without notes, so bear with me. Welcome! I'm Sam. If you are new here, I am so happy to have you, and if you're a returning visitor, I'm even more excited to have you. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for stopping by and having some fun crafty time with me. This is a crochet-based podcast with every once in a while a smattering of other crafts, mostly crochet. This is a crochet podcast that I host here in my living room just outside the city of Chicago, where I live with my husband, my two crazy redheaded boys, and my little old dog. I'm so happy you're here, and we have a lot to talk about today. So let's jump in. First of all, we're going to start today off with a new pattern release. So if you saw the last episode, you saw that this pattern was in progress, and I think maybe I had finished it, but I had finished it, but I hadn't blocked it yet, and I hadn't sent it off to testers. So it has been blocked, it has been thoroughly tested, and it has been released on Ravelry, and I have been blown away by the response that everyone has had just from my Instagram release, and I'm happy to announce it here on the podcast for you lovely viewers. I have a coupon code for you, and I will put it down below. It is Ebbing. Oh, I didn't even tell you the name, guys. I'm not a very professional podcaster. This is the Ebbing Tides shawl. Ebbing Tides. And I named it that because everyone I was asking for name feedback on said that it reminded them of the sea and waves lapping on the shore. And then after they said that, I couldn't get that picture out of my head. So we went with the Ebbing Tides shawl. So there's a coupon code on Ravelry that is good for 2 weeks, and that is Ebbing YT for YouTube. So that is $1 off, and I am just so happy that you've chosen to spend some time hanging out with me and watching this podcast, and so I wanted to spread the joy a little bit. So if you want to make this shawl, be sure to use that coupon code, and I would love to see your finished objects. If you do make the shawl, if you could make a Ravelry project page, that is really helpful for designers. Favoriting, putting it in your queue, and making projects are all really helpful things to help the patterns get more visibility on Ravelry. So I will show you the shawl again. So here it is. It's got this really fun kind of knit look texture for the body of the shawl. And then along the whole edge is this cable. It's a very deep V shawl. And this is made in sport weight yarn. It takes about 800 yards of sport weight, a little over. This is 3 skeins of Madeline Tosh sport. But my testers made it in all sorts of different types of yarn and colors, and I think some even made it in DK. I think it would work great in a fingering weight yarn. I just don't know how much it would take of a different weight yarn, but feel free to experiment. It's a very simple repeat. Just keep going until you run out of yarn or until it's big enough. And it's very stretchy, so it blocks out really beautifully and stretches way more than the finished size before it's been blocked, especially in the wool. So yeah, that is my second official pattern release on Ravelry, and I'm super proud of it. I think I need a shawl pin for this one, honestly, but I don't have any. But I've been wearing it pretty much nonstop, and I'm not ashamed of that. It's my favorite thing right now. And I love, the weather here is finally just, it's warm enough that I don't have to wear a coat everywhere I go, but it's cool enough that I can wrap up in a shawl and be comfortable. So I'm also really liking wearing it just over my shoulders like this. Just with it draped on the back. There it is. I don't normally wear shawls like this, but I've started to wear them like this more often. I don't know if I'm just becoming more of like an old lady crocheter or what, but yeah, I'm really liking them. So I'm also hosting a giveaway for this pattern on this episode of the podcast. So this is my 200 subscriber giveaway and my pattern release giveaway. So if you want to win a copy of this pattern, rules are 1, be a subscriber, and 2, comment down below and tell me what color you would make this shawl in if you won. Excuse me. So yeah, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what color you would make it in. And I will draw a winner before my next episode. And if you win, but you've already purchased the pattern, I will refund your purchase on Ravelry. There we go. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for sticking around, and thank you for supporting this pattern release. I am so excited to be able to get more into designing this year, and I am just so excited at the response kicking off with this pattern this year. So there we have it. That is all I have to say about that. Let's move on to some other finished objects. My first finished object is the, and by finished I still have not woven in the ends because I don't, but I will because I need to send this one off this week. So this is the Secret Path Shawl by Miho Crochet, free on her blog. So I made this out of the Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel. I don't remember the colorway, but I showed it off in the last episode. And I made this, as I mentioned, for my grandmother who recently moved into a nursing home. So here we have it. I love the size of this. I was really worried because I didn't look at the yardage requirements for worsted weight when I bought the yarn, because that's how I live my life. And I bought 2 cakes of the Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel, which is 100% acrylic. And after I got home and I started making it, I was like, this isn't going to be enough. I looked at other ones people had made and they had all used 2.5 to 3. So I was really nervous. And then the pattern, you have to do the edging after one of the popcorn rows. And I got to the end of the popcorn row and I had more than enough to do the edging, but I didn't have enough to do another full repeat of the pattern. It's a pretty simple repeat, but I wasn't going to have enough to get through the whole repeat and then the popcorns and then the edging again. So I only used about 1 3/4 skeins of this yarn, and it was a little small, but then I blocked it. And I know I've talked about this before, that like I haven't been fully on the blocking train. And I think that's just because I'm lazy. But I steam blocked this because it is 100% acrylic, so wet blocking wouldn't work. But I steam blocked it and it softened up so much. It's so drapey, so soft, and it opened up this lacy work beautifully. You could actually see, like as I was steaming, these sections here, I watched them grow and flatten out and just lay flat across the blocking board, and I'm so happy with it. I am 100% on the blocking train now. I've seen the error of my ways. I am all in with blocking, especially for acrylics, because it makes this, I mean, I have no judgment about acrylic yarn. It makes this really cheap yarn look and feel amazing. So that is my soapbox for the day. Try blocking your acrylics. If you haven't steam blocked before, I highly suggest you try it. I will put a link in the show notes to the tutorial I used when I first steam blocked an acrylic piece. I think it's really helpful, and it helped me get over my fear of like completely ruining all of those hours of crochet I had done. So if you're nervous about it, trust me, it can be done and it's so worth it. In fact, I actually just got a steamer. My first one I did with my iron, and I bought an actual steamer to do this one, and it is so worth it. So yeah, that's this pattern. Free on her blog, like you said. I'm very, very happy with it, and I suggest you make one as well. Yeah, so I'm sending this off in the mail this week to my grandmother. And my other grandmother actually just also moved into an assisted living facility, and so I gifted her my puppy love shawl. I was a little sad to see it go, but I wanted her to have something to wrap up in. And I had just finished my puppy love shawl. I'd worn it around a couple times, and I just knew that she would love it. So it is off with my grandmother now in her new home. So that's my next finished object. My next finished object is, you didn't see it as a whip last time because I started and finished it between these episodes. I won this pattern as a giveaway on Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochets podcast last year, and it is made by Quaylen of the Quo podcast. It's one of his earlier releases, I think, and it's called the One Day More Shawlette. Side note, I thought it was one more day for like a year. I just, you know, when you see phrases and you just read them and your mind assumes that's what they said, it took me until I was well into making the shawl to realize it said one day more. So sorry, I've been mispronouncing your pattern in my head for so long. But this is the One Day More Shawlette. And it is a very simple granny pattern. And I started making this as a double entry into the Granny Cow hosted by Zines and Roger, and as the Pisces season make-along hosted by Kalisha of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. I did not finish it in time for the Pisces season because I got, Crochet DD and started working on other projects. But I just finished it, and I think the Granny Cow is still going on, so I'm going to enter that into the finished objects. But yeah, it's very big and cozy, and I think it's going to be great for spring, honestly. So this yarn, it's a sport weight yarn, and this is I bought 2 skeins and I didn't need 2 of them, but this is the Premier DK Colors. I was near a Joann, and I don't have a Joann by me, so I picked this up, and I'll show you this end. So obviously it's my colors with just like different shades of blue and gray. This is the colorway, what is it? I'm so bad at remembering colorways, so I have to look every time, and they always put them in weird places. Teal blue, very creative and accurate. So this is the teal blue colorway of Premier DK Colors. It's 100% acrylic. It reminds me of the texture of Simply Soft, just thinner. So it's got that kind of shimmery acrylic look. And then I used the Bernat Softy Baby because I thought it was a similar textured yarn for the white. So I wanted the color changing. I think he used in the pattern design like hand-dyed yarns, 2 different like highly speckled yarns. But I wanted to do the color changing contrasted against the white. So every one of my panels looks different. So this pattern is just 4 like half granny square triangles seamed together. Very straightforward pattern, very simple, and you should check it out. If you haven't seen his patterns, he has some amazing cable work. He has some really good like knit and crochet patterns that he releases in both versions, which I love. And he supports both crafts. And yeah, he has a podcast too, and he's really great. You should go check him out. So this is that finished object. I'll stand up so you can see how big it is. So again, it's really deep. I'm thinking about putting tassels on it. I don't know. I go back and forth on how I feel about tassels, but I might be feeling it for this shawl. So there we go. That is my last finished object, I believe. Oh, I knew there was something else. I don't have this with me, but I showed off the purple yarn from Northern Bee Studio that I was doing a crochet sample for during my last episode, and I made the Alpine Frost cowl for her, which was a pattern design for that yarn. It was a really simple pattern, very simple repeat, very elegant, and that was a lace weight yarn, 2-ply. It was very stretchy. It was really fun to work with. I really, really liked it. So I finished that and I sent that off to her. My only comments on that pattern was that it doesn't have a gauge for unblocked, so I couldn't really tell if I was on gauge or not while I was making it. I think it was smaller than it should have been a little bit, so I would have done another repeat or two to make it a little wider. But it's supposed to be a very close-fitting cowl, but it was too close-fitting for me. But it was really beautiful, and it looked amazing in the purple yarn. So you should go check that out, and check out Northern Bee Studio because she has some beautiful tonal yarns. And I'm actually going to see her at YarnCon next weekend, so I'm very excited to check out some more of her yarns in person. So that is my last finished object. I have one work in progress. I have other works in progress, but they have not changed at all since you last saw them. I've not worked one stitch on my sock. It's been 5 weeks since my last episode, so that's pretty sad. But I'm to the point where I have to do the heel now, and I'm scared of that, and I don't want to bother learning it right now. So I'm just sitting there waiting for a time when I feel like making a sock heel. And then I have not done any more on my Tunisian practice dishcloth. So yeah, I'm not going to show you those again. I think I have a couple other whips that I've started throughout the year that are still in a basket somewhere. So I haven't made progress on them. I'm not showing you anymore. I have one whip. Oh, pardon my reach. And this is a baby blanket for a friend who, the baby is a year old now, but she requested a blanket for him. So I am making a corner-to-corner moss stitch blanket. So this is again Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel, and that is the whole color repeat. So that is just about one cake, alternating with the I Love This Yarn gray. So this is the same general premise of how I made my painted moss cowl pattern. I just made it obviously a lot bigger. So it starts off here, and then just every 6 rows I'm doing 2 stripes of gray to break it up. And I just started doing the straight edge, the decreases for the straight edge last night. So we have this little straight edge here, so it'll be about this wide of a blanket. And then let's see how long I can make it. I might have to pick up a 3rd cake. I don't make a lot of blankets, so I'm not a very good estimator of how much yarn I will need for a blanket, and I'm not using a pattern for this, so I thought 2 would be enough, but it might require a 3rd. So this is my evening, like, mindless TV watching crochet, and yeah, it's working out pretty quickly. I'm enjoying it. Sometimes after working on a pattern that's more intense, or working on a pattern release, which takes a lot of my energy and focus, I like to just switch it up and have a very simple, very mindless pattern. So that's what this is fulfilling right now. But I am, I'm about halfway through this, so I'm obviously dying to start something else. So that leads me to the next portion, which is my acquisitions. Remember how I said I was doing fiber share again? I think the lovely ladies who run fiber share just love me a lot, and they give me the best fiber share partners I could ever ask for. So yeah, I got an amazing fiber share partner this round, and she spoiled me absolutely rotten. Before I show you everything she gave me, I am going to pop a little video in here of Sam from the past telling and showing you everything I sent to my fiber share partner. So here you go. I'm showing off what I'm sending in my fiber share package, which is going out this afternoon. So I've got 2 skeins of the Karen Pantone in Terrarium Green, and I am sending a copy of my Painted Moss Cowl to go with that. And I've got a skein that I dyed up with food coloring, and it's just blues and greens and kind of deep gray purpley specks, and that's just a worsted weight 100% wool. And then I have just a skein from my stash of Cascade Superwash Sport 220 in a green, and then these I picked up from my local yarn store, and they are, the brand name is really hard to read on them. I'll put it up on the screen, but they are such a beautiful, fun kind of stripy color. I'm really liking them. So they're like bright teal with some dark greens and grays and blacks in there. And those are fingering weight. So that is all the yarn that I'm sending. And then I got a couple other little goodies. I've got a fur pom-pom. Oh, sorry. I gotta adjust my hand here. Fur pom-pom, a llama notebook, a notions pouch, and then I made some little stitch markers. And the one I'm most happy with is this little owl bead stitch marker. And some candy and some tea is going in there. This is a block print. I used to be into block printing back before I had kids, so this is a design I made back then, and I just had spare prints of it. So I'm sending that. And then this little cutie is my little granny owl. He is a free pattern on Zines and Rogers blog. I'll give you a closer look at him. So he's just made with scraps of stash yarn from recent projects. But he's super cute, super tiny. I'm really happy. She did felt and button eyes, and I opted for safety eyes because I don't like hand sewing. So yeah, that is my fiber share box that is going out this afternoon. You know what's funny? I actually paused and waited for that video to end. It's actually happening right now, and I'm not just going to cut that video. Oh, goodness. All right, let's dig in to my amazing, beautiful fiber share package from Michaela. Look at the size of this box. This is a giant box. And it is packed full. So, I'm just going to go in whatever order this is sitting in here. So this is in no particular order, just whatever is on top first. First of all, she made me this beautiful bag. Look at it. It's so pretty. It's 100% cotton, and she said it was hand-dyed in her note. So I think that's a great market bag, or beach bag, or just carrying around bag. I love it. Yeah, it's really pretty. I haven't used any of this yet because, 1, I've been working on other things, and 2, I wanted to save it all to show you. So now that this is done, I will be busting into all of this yarn. All right. I'm still I look at this box sometimes and just think I can't believe it. I don't know how I got so lucky. It's so amazing, guys. So first of all, she gave me, let me turn the labels around for you. She gave me a fade set. Look how pretty it is. It's so perfect. Like it makes me want to cry. It really truly makes me want to cry because I feel like she 100% got me with this entire box. So this is Autumn and Indigo Fibers on their sock base, hand dyed in South Carolina. It's 70% superwash, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 63 yards per 100 grams. This is the colorway Squall. This beautiful tonal, deep, kind of muted teal. And this is the colorway Storm, which is like a mintier, muted green. Sorry if the light is blowing out, guys. My front window is getting a lot of sun right now. And this is the colorway Flint, which is like a really sweet muted gray. So she gave me those three, and she gifted me the Flat Iron Shawl pattern by Tony of TL Yarn Crafts, which I've been looking at for so long. I love the simplicity of it, and I love how it shows off the beautiful yarn. I believe the entire shawl is single crochet, so it's just going to be an easy, repetitive pattern that's really going to showcase that yarn beautifully. And then along with that, she gave me, you guys are not going to believe this, she gave me a Furls Odyssey crochet hook. This is my very first official Furls hook. It's a 5mm, so it's perfect for the shawl. And she gave me a case to keep it in. I've actually been using this hook on my blanket because I've never used a shaped hook like this, and I am a pencil holder crocheter, not a knife holder. I'm jealous of the knife holders because I feel like they're faster, and they can use the bulkier ergonomic hooks a little bit easier. So I wanted to get used to using this hook on a simple pattern that I didn't really care about as much, so I could really get my hands used to using this because it's a different weight, it's a different shape than I'm typically using. So I've been using that on that blanket in training, preparation for doing the flat iron shawl. It took me a couple nights of getting used to it, but I love the feel of it. I love how heavy it is in my hand, and it glides so beautifully on this metal part. Excuse me. So, I am in love with it. I'm so happy with it. I've never owned such a beautiful crochet hook in my life. So, thank you so much. Thank you, honestly. Okay, now there's more yarn. There's a ton more yarn, so hang tight. These two, she said, were from her stash, and I've never seen this brand of yarn before, but I'm following them now. So this is Pichinku. I don't want to say it wrong, but it's this brand of yarn. And look at these colors. Aren't they so pretty? I love how bright this is, and I especially love it contrasted with this. So this green is so these are all dyed, they're natural dyed. And I'm going to butcher all of these words, so I'm not even going to try. So this is a DK, 100% superwash merino, though it does say hand wash only. It's dyed with this plant. Are you focusing? And that is the colorway. And then this one and this is 100% Peruvian baby alpaca. It's so soft, and it's got just like a slight halo on it. So I don't know what these will be, but I love them so much. There's more, don't worry. She sent me another skein of undyed natural 100% alpaca. It's so soft and so beautiful. I just love the natural undyed alpaca yarns because there's an actual alpaca walking around this color. Like, it's so beautiful. And I wish you could feel this through the screen. It is so soft. So yeah, this is a DK 3-ply also. And that is from the Irish Meadows Yarn Barn and Boutique. So, yeah, I'm speechless. I don't even have words to say, guys. And she sent me a Madelinetosh unicorn tail. So I don't know, again, what I will use this for, but this is the Beneath the Waves colorway. They're unicorn tails. I just think they're so cute. And this is the Euro sock, which is 52 yards of their sock base. And then there's one more set of yarn, as if that wasn't enough. She sent me another fate kit. And again, this is alpaca silk, and it is the softest, drapiest. Like, look at that. Look at that drape in that, and it's not, hasn't even been used yet. So it's 50% alpaca, 50% silk. These are 50 grain skeins, 146 yards. So, and this brand is Blue Sky. This is their sport weight. So this, here's their, oh, it's upside down. Here's their tag. This is the colorway Peacock. This is the color Plume. This is Slate. And this is a Crew. And then she sent me, so that's all the yarn, and I am just speechless and in awe and absolutely in love with every single one of them. And if you have pattern recommendations for any of those, besides the flat iron shawl, which obviously is first on the list, but if you have pattern recommendations for any of those, shoot them in the comments down below. I would love to get some input on what I should make with those. Like, this is enough yarn to last me, like, the rest of the year, maybe. That's not going to stop me from getting more, so don't worry. So yeah, stay tuned for what I make with these beautiful yarns. Like, I'm so speechless. If you haven't done fiber share before, you should definitely sign up. The requirements for sending yarn is 200 grams. So, like, this is all that's required and all that's expected. Anything beyond that is an absolute bonus and an absolute joy, and I am just blown away. And then she also sent me, non-yarny related, this adorable little mug that has a little bee on it. You can focus on that. And some herbal tea, which is Harney and Sons Blood Orange, which I haven't tried yet, but I'm very excited to. And she made me homemade salted caramels that were the best salted caramels I think I've ever tasted. They were amazing. I did not save those to show you. And she also sent me a bag of Sour Patch Kids, which I love. I'm mostly a sour fruity candy kind of girl, with the addition of salted caramels. Those are my weaknesses. And she sent me some beautiful stitch markers, again, to use with the flat iron shawl pattern. Let's see if we can focus here. Oh. It's surprisingly hard to know which way to move your hand. Yeah, so she sent me 3 of those. That's everything. I'm speechless and blown away. Thank you so much, Michaela. You like made my year. I don't even have more words to say. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. This is going to be a shorter episode today. I haven't been super busy with yarn. I've been super busy with life. So, you know, more life, less yarn, unfortunately, is the way it goes. I'm going to YarnCon next weekend, and I'm very excited. So if you're going to be there, let me know. I would love to say hi to you and meet you and geek out over all the pretty yarn with you. And I need to work on my list of what I need to get and what I want to make. I got some birthday money that I will be spending there, so I'm very excited to get more beautiful yarn to add to my collection. So if you have something that you think I should make, pop it in the comments down below, and I will definitely take a look. Let me know if you're going to be there. I would love to say hi to you. Yeah, don't forget to enter the giveaway down below, and I'm going to say if for every 20 entries we get, I will do another pattern giveaway. So if we get 20, I'll do 1. If we do 40, I will do 2, etc., etc. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this little podcast. It is so much fun and such an honor to be able to spend some time with you and learn about what you're working on and share what I'm working on. So I'm very happy that every single one of you is here. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so you will be notified when my next episode comes out, and I will see you in about a month. Have a great day. Bye!